Welcome back, everyone, to a brand new season of F1 Fantasy. Trying to do something a little different. Definitely high production value. But yeah, I wanted to recap every single week, kind of where everyone lies. This is also very lying. This is the first week, there's no changes. But yeah, the race was, if you ignore the Red Bulls, it was very competitive. So very excited to see what Formula 1.5 can bring this season. But without further ado, let's look at the real championship standings this season. And we have a very fitting Max Nando Verlonzo 4X World Driver Champion. Ben Mills in the lead here with 357 points. And we're just going to kind of review everyone's teams real quick. The 3X Extra DRS chip that are available. There's 6 chips. So I'm not going to give any tips, so good luck. Figure those out, but that was a very good play. I think that's probably the maximum points you can get. You're going to notice a lot of Red Bull Racing and Aston Martin. People have cracked the code of this game already for this season. But this is a very strong lineup. And you can change week to week. So going down the order, we got a Gravelin or Jay Hoon's Team White Line. Again, a lot of Red Bulls, a lot of Aston Martin. Got Bottas and Joe, who I did not realize Joe actually got more points here. I guess because overtaking is now important, so a lot of midfield drivers can actually be pretty important here. So we're just going to keep it going. American Hopes, don't know who owns this team, but he's probably an idiot. And we got Max Verstappen and Carlos Sainz, Fernando Alonso. So obviously this is my team because I'm stupid. But I went with Logan Sargent, and yeah, just a couple of my favorite drivers. And then, you know, you got to have Max Verstappen in your team, let's be honest. All hail the Yeet Hairpin, Dan Robertson, Cobb Unite's team. Again, a lot of Red Bull Racing and Aston Martin. We'll see if that holds true. Unfortunately, Oscar Piastri did not perform well for his team this time by. But yeah, hopefully McLaren can pick it up for Dan's sake and probably for Oscar's sake too. Next up, we got Shark Gang here. Again, a lot of Nico Hulkenberg. A lot of people had a Hulkenback vibes, but it did not work out well. But of course, Max Verstappen, Fernando Alonso, Aston Martin, and Red Bull Racing. Starting to see a theme here for who did well here. Just Too Easy, Liam returning. Does not have Jeff Goldblum and Samuel L. Jackson. But again, he does have Fernando Alonso and Max Verstappen and Aston Martin Red Bull Racing. So Charles Leclerc, won't mention that. My team name was taken, owned by Mario. And yeah, again, Fernando Alonso, Verstappen. So very similar teams for the top. And then we got Nico Hulkenberg. I believe this is Tommy Schett's team. There's 2 Toms. I gotta remember separate them. Yeah, very similar. All down the way. Wooden Spoon Racing. First one that does not have Aston Martin at all in their team. This is Tom Bryan's team, Wooden Spoon Racing. They might be racing for wooden spoons here. If they don't pull out the AlphaTauri out of their constructors. But yeah, very good plays here. Obviously, Red Bull's doing really well. It was a fantastic race from Gasly, shockingly. That Alpine is not looking fantastic, but yeah, we'll see. I don't think they're fighting for 4th in this year, but see if they can turn it around. And then we got Kagan's team. I have no clue who owns Kagan's team. They should be more specific on who owns it. I got George Russell. Max Verstappen, yep, Fernando Alonso, and again, McLaren. So, it seems like Red Bull Racing and Aston Martin is kind of the key to this championship. We'll see if that pans out throughout the season. Of course, I never change my team. We'll see if that changes with these reviews every week and analyzing what people do. Then we got RFKOTR Racing, replacing JTKOTR Racing, Andrew Hardy. Hamilton and Mercedes fanboy, but thankfully has Aston Martin and Fernando Alonso to bring up his hopes here this season. Again, do not want to talk about Ocon's race. I'm sure Ocon doesn't want to talk about his race either. That was quite the travesty. And then we're going to move on down to Danger Cars, the never modified gang. I got Max Verstappen, Lewis Hamilton, so Mercedes and Williams as the constructors. Williams is actually looking quite decent, looking like an kind of like a midfield team. I don't know if there's really an upper midfield. There's like there's Red Bull, the like Aston Martin, Mercedes, and Ferrari kind of in that upper echelon, and then it's just like everyone else. It's like Alfa and Williams had some decent performances. Obviously, Alpine managed to sneak in there. Then you got like Mercedes and AlphaTauri just at the bottom, and like Haas gets up there in qualifying, and that's it. So it's going to be an interesting order this year. And finally, Country for Old Men does have the oldest man on the grid in Hulkenberg, but I don't know if that's really fitting for the rest of the team here. But I guess Ferrari's pretty old. Aston Martin's an old brand, so this is Jamie Ellis's team. I think it must have been his first F1 weekend to watch, scoring some low points. He'll kind of catch on throughout the season, I'm sure. But yeah, so it's a pretty kind of big gap at the top here. But you know, first race, change up your teams if you don't have Aston Martin, I guess, is kind of where it's going. It's definitely the steal of the season so far. But yeah, so good luck, everyone. Again, the top 3 do get cash prizes paid out in some virtual form. It depends on what your preference is. And yeah, it's a long season. We got 21 or 22 rounds. But yeah, next time we're out in Saudi Arabia, Jeddah. So that should be a very quick track. And we'll see who's still on top. I'm assuming it's the Red Bulls. We'll see who comes in behind. But yeah. Congrats to Ben Mills on the Jelly Bean Award. If you have a suggestion for the top scorer award name, just leave it in the comments or in the Discord or whatever, or DM me. Just let me know, and we can just have fun with that name every week. But yeah, that is all for now, and until Jeddah, get Aston Martin in your team.